Before we get into the video, I want to give a huge thank you to EA for sponsoring this video. I appreciate it so much. Hey everyone, it's Fantayzia, or you can call me Rachel, and I've been playing The Sims since I was only 6 years old, and there's a cute little story behind it. So my cousin actually introduced me to The Sims 1, and I was so young at the time. I loved dolls and doll houses, and to me, when I saw The Sims 1, I thought of it as a virtual dollhouse, and I was so drawn to it. And eventually, over time, my cousin did actually give me her copy of The Sims 1, and I just remember sitting down with my mom and just loving to play this game. Then The Sims 2 came out and The Sims 3 and the same thing. I was just so drawn to it. It was such a big step from The Sims 1. I would actually come home from school for lunch and me and my mom would play The Sims 2 together until I had to go back to school after lunch. So yeah, we had that cute little bonding moment with The Sims 2, and then The Sims 3, I really started to get deeper and deeper into creating these unique characters with different personalities and just really getting into stories. And it was so different from The Sims 2 because it was open world and I had so much fun with that. And then of course The Sims 4, I've been playing that since it released and still playing it to this day. The Sims really was just like a way for me to escape. I actually started my YouTube channel 7 whole years ago, and when I started, I just did Sims 3 Create a Sims. I didn't talk in my videos. I was completely terrified to talk in videos. I just made every single sim I could possibly think of in The Sims 3, and then The Sims 4 released and I started to do Sims 4 Create a Sims, and then shortly after The Sims 4 released, I did finally get the courage to make my first Let's Play. Social anxiety has always been a really big struggle for me, and over time Let's Plays actually really allowed me to help my social anxiety. Like, it was honestly very helpful for me, and I got to express myself in videos, and this was when I could really bring my stories to life and share them with everyone. So that actually leads me to what I'm most excited to talk about, which is the way I like to play The Sims 4. So I'm definitely a storyteller for sure, hands down. That is my go-to. I love storytelling so much. The amount of story-based Let's Plays I've created is like insane. Although I do really love some building and a challenge here and there, but I always just go back to my storytelling. That's just what I love. It's so just close to my heart. Storytelling is such a passion for me. It's something that I've been doing for so long. You know, when I was a little girl, I would write down stories for fun. I would just write them down just because, and I just loved coming up with different things. So when I started playing The Sims, it was really cool to be able to make my stories come to life. It was a whole new creative outlet for me. No matter what the story was about, whether it was total drama and chaos or if it was a cute love story, I just absolutely loved seeing my stories play out, come to life. It was just so cool. It was so different than just having the story written down. So my favorite way to play The Sims is actually a really fun process. I love writing down a brief story idea to kind of get me inspired, and then what I do is go ahead and jump into Create a Sim, and I go and create Sims that I kind of was envisioning in my head based off the little brief story I wrote. And then as I'm making the Sims, usually I start to think of other storylines and I'll write them down, and then I kind of get a feel on what their traits should be. And sometimes if I'm feeling stuck with a storyline, I'll go ahead and use the feature in game when you first load up Create a Sim. You can kind of create a story for your sim right away by answering some questions. So that's a great way if you're kind of stuck on story ideas. I spend a lot of time in Create a Sim, but it's so worth it because this is actually what gets me attached to my Sims. I spend so much time customizing them. I go back and forth, and I also usually give them multiple everyday outfits because it just really creates that connection. So after I'm done creating my Sims, I'll go ahead and choose a world, and then I'll decide if I want to build them a home or get them a home from the gallery. Sometimes it's better to build it because I have a certain idea in mind that just fits the family perfectly, but other times there's something that is spot on the gallery because the gallery has so many amazing creations. There's so many talented people in the gallery. So I definitely recommend going on the gallery to, find some amazing builds, amazing Sims. Even if you feel like you're not the best in Create a Sim or not the best builder, the gallery is exactly where you're going to find everything. They have anything and everything. They also have amazing community lots, which there's just endless amount of possibilities. People are so creative on there. Then once my Sims are actually moved into their home, I take some time to kind of make my storyline come to life. And what I mean by that is kind of, getting the basics going. So say my Sim wanted to be a chef. I would go ahead and kind of start building their cooking skill and make them some friends. Usually there's the welcome wagon, so that's perfect. just, you know, get some relationships for them and possibly start up some drama, like maybe a breakup or some friendship drama. Maybe an unexpected pregnancy happens and that opens up a whole other door for this big storyline to happen. I just kind of create a path, you know? So once I'm done setting everything up, then I'll kind of just play the game casually and let the story play out. And I will go ahead and add things into the story sometimes as I play, depending on what happens. So that's kind of like a look into how I play. And now I'd really like to show you guys some of my favorite creations that I've done. These are just creations that I feel most proud of. Now, it was really hard to choose these because as far as Sims go, there's a lot of Sims that I've created. So I almost couldn't decide which ones to show you guys, but then I decided to go with my vanilla family. So this family has no custom content and I'm really attached to them. So this is why I chose this family because, you know, especially the fact that they have no custom content, I was really happy with the way these Sims turned out because a lot of times I'll use a lot of custom content and stuff, and I feel like these Sims were really able to reflect their personality with no CC, you know, everything from the game. So everything you see here, if you want to download these Sims, they'll look exactly the way they look as long as you have the packs. I actually have a whole Let's Play on this family if you guys would like to check it out. It's very much drama filled. There's like a couple, they're all best friends, and there's a couple that ends up just not working out, and there's a girl who's like completely opposite of them all, but then she's besties with them, and it's just, she's kind of the odd one in the middle, kind of stuck in between everything. And then there's a single mom and she has a little toddler. There's some drama going on with the father. So the next one I want to show you guys is a build, and it's actually my Seasons house build. So when Seasons released, I decided to build a house for the Let's Play that I had. Something about this house, it's very special to me. Seasons is one of my favorite packs, and so building this house was like, I don't know, it was so much fun. It was like a dream, just doing everything. I really enjoyed it, and it's a simple home, but it's a nice Seasons family home, and I feel like it's like the perfect house to have a family with, to explore the seasons, and it's cozy, and it has some holiday decorations around. It has enough space for parents and then 3 children bedrooms, but you could change it to whatever you want to. Again, this is on the gallery, of course. And then lastly is my cottage living build. So this is another one. This is actually one that I probably took the longest on, to be honest. This build took me a very long time, and I tried to do a lot of things that I don't usually do. So that's why I feel like I ended up being most proud of it, because it's just different from anything I've ever built before. And I just tried to do some different things with the roof and all of that. So of course, this is meant to be used in the cottage living world. It's very country, and also this is a family home as well. But of course you could change it. Again, this is on the gallery, so you can download it if you'd like to. This house is good for parents and then 2 kids, but of course you could add things and change it up a little bit. And then of course it's a great space for some farm animals. There's lots of outdoor space. So now let's talk about my top 3 packs. I get this question a lot, and I just want to kind of explain why these are my top 3 packs. This is super fun to talk about. So the first one is Seasons. You know, I kind of touched on that a little bit, so I'm sure you guys could guess. And it's simply at the top of my list just because it fits my gameplay no matter what. It's amazing. It's just so good for realistic gameplay, which is something I love. Storytelling. It's so great for changing the whole game because the seasons are always changing, you know, snow, rain, thunderstorms, sunny. It's just there's everything. And the holidays with this, you guys, this is one of my favorite parts of this entire pack. There's such good story opportunities for me. They really are. I mean, you can make so many different holidays. Of course, you get your base ones, like there's Winterfest and Love Day, but there's so many you can add. So like something I love to do is add Mother's Day and Father's Day. I think that's so fun and cute. It adds for story opportunity again. And it's just like another day your Sims can celebrate, appreciate their parents. I think that is so sweet. And then something else I absolutely love to do is Sims World Day. So this is like 4th of July or Canada Day, you know, depending where you live. I was like, oh my gosh, we need a day to just celebrate the Sims, the world of Sims. Another great holiday to add is Spooky Day, because I mean, there's already Halloween stuff in the game, so why not? You could also call it Halloween, and you can do trick-or-treating and stuff and have spooky spirit. Everyone can get into their costumes, so that's super cute. The holiday system is just amazing, and that's a big reason why Seasons is my top favorite. Now, number 2 is parenthood. So the whole parenting aspect is just really great for me. It allows me to make family storylines, and I think that's really important to me. Previously, before parenthood, it was really hard to do kind of family oriented storylines, and I just feel like I can with parenthood. So it adds so much for the toddlers, children, and teenagers. It adds a whole character values system, which is really neat. It has so many different things. You know, they can learn responsibility and so many other things. And you have to be a little bit careful because if your children is rebellious, like, you know, things are gonna go into the red. So you gotta make sure you're kind of keeping on top of that. Unless for your storyline, you want your child to be rebellious, that could also be fun. And then there's a new parenting skill and everything. There's so many different things with this pack. I could go on and on about it. It's definitely like my top favorite game pack. Seasons is an expansion pack, and then Parenthood is a game pack. So number 3 is a really tough one. It was so hard to choose what my top third pack is because I feel like it's kind of a tie between 3 packs, and that's Discover University, Cats and Dogs, and City Living. Now, I ended up going with City Living, which might be a little surprising, but I'll explain why. I do find that I use City Living a lot more. I didn't even realize it, but then when I was like writing down my top 3 packs, I was like, wait, I actually use City Living a lot, and here's why. So it gives you a whole city life. It's just completely different from any other world you're gonna get with any other pack. So you can do the whole city life, and there's so much going on in the city all the time. There's festivals, so that's really cool. And of course, we get apartment buildings. So that's one of my favorite parts. It honestly had a big impact on my modded Let's Play. So it allowed me to create the story there. So that was really good. And you know, with apartments, it also really inspires me to build. So this is why I also wanted to choose this, because I do love to build, but I'm not always inspired to build. So if you're someone who struggles with that, City Living, I feel like, especially if you like decorating, because I'm a decorator, I think the apartments just really make you want to decorate. I decorated so many apartments, and it's so much fun because you can change the floor plan to any of them. You can knock down walls and stuff, and you can kind of make it whatever you want it to be. I just think it's just great for someone, especially if you're learning to build. You know, sometimes you have people like, oh, I don't know if I want to like build a whole house from scratch. The apartment buildings, you know, you can just decorate. You don't have to actually build anything. So those are my personal favorite when it comes to decorating. I just really do find myself using this pack more than I even realized. And you guys, with that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about today. So I'd love to go on and on about this game. I feel like there's so many things that I can say. So if you'd like to keep up with more of my content, you can pretty much find me everywhere. So I'm on Twitter and Instagram at FantayziaYT. It's also linked down below, as well as TikTok and Twitch. Those are both just Fantayzia, at Fantayzia, also linked down below. And then I do also have a couple other channels. If you guys are interested, you can find it on my channel page and then click on the channels tab and you will see my other channels there. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and I really hope you did enjoy this video. So I'm just gonna wrap this up here, and I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, and don't forget to leave some positivity down below. I love you guys all so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!
The night is young, so let's